So hey guys, what's up? This is Ezekiel with the next Battle Cats Evolutions video. Yeah, so in the last video, we talked about the Pirate Cat, and today, we're going to be taking the suggestions from two guys actually, so their name's going to be on screen right about now, and they wanted me to show off the one and only Bondage Cat, aka the cat that pretty much no one uses because there are just so many other cats, like the Island Cat and the Crazed Whale Cat, that are just way better than this cat stat-wise, and also kind of looks-wise, unless you're into this kind of stuff, in which case what I'm saying right now is totally irrelevant. But yeah, the Bondage Cat is supposed to be one of the anti-red cats that you can get early in the game once you've completed enough levels, but honestly it's just one of those cats that isn't really that great when you get much later into the game, once you unlock you know, the fish cat, and then the crazed fish cat, other anti-red cats just like that. But early on, I guess it's decent. It has a decent amount of HP, decent amount of damage, decent attack speed. Pretty much it's just like one of those, like, you know, just decent units that doesn't really specialize in a whole lot of things. It actually has a lot of cons versus pros, such as it moves really slowly. It only hits single targets at once, so it has no sort of area damage. So if you're dealing with like a bunch of squirrels or something, then this cat's definitely not gonna have a good time. But and the other thing is that this cat is also extremely expensive, which kind of makes no sense because, you know, if you want to use this as some sort of a meat shield or something, then if it was around like 300 or 400 as its price in the later stages, then I guess it'd be decent, but it costs about 690 right now, and we're not even like playing a legit level where it's at its true price, so it could be even more expensive than you're seeing, what you're seeing on screen right now. So, you know, it's a really expensive cat. It's not really worth sending out in most levels. If you're fighting like really specific bosses like red boars, or like the red, you know, the super giant buff dude with the wings and stuff. I forget what he's called. I think his name is like Bun or something. But if you're fighting guys like him, the red variant, then this cat apparently also does pretty well against him. I haven't actually tried it myself, but you can see right here, like based on the you know, the actual enemy, what am I trying to say here? The enemy, what's the word I'm trying to say? The enemy base. Yes, the enemy base. This is what happens when you play a lot of games. Just forget terminology in other games as well. But against the enemy base, it doesn't even do that much damage. It did enough damage, though, to summon the black bear, which I guess is a good thing, but not enough damage to actually stop any of the kangaroos or these guys from spawning in. Well, yeah, I guess it stops the butterflies, but not the kangaroos. Or actually, did he? Oh, actually, never mind. Yeah, okay. So maybe the Bondage Cat isn't as weak as I thought. It actually did take care of the kangaroos. I don't know what I'm talking about. But this is where the next problem comes in. You can see that the Bondage Cat is now struggling to actually deal with the wave and waves of the gangs, like the little stickman dude, because there's just too many of them. But anyways, before we move on to the next evolution, I will quickly talk about the actual aesthetics of the Bondage Cat. So first of all, I don't even know why this cat's in the game. I don't know what Japan's, you know, into and whatnot, but if this is part of their culture, then sure, let's accept it. But it is sort of, you know, weird, because this is not normally what you find in most games, unless you're playing like I don't know, some weird simulator or something like that. But I don't know, the Bondage Cat looks I don't know. It looks kind of strange because it's all tied up in the ropes, tied up in the legs, and it's literally forced to crawl, like literally smear its body on the ground to actually move forward. So it's a little bit disturbing, not gonna lie, in a bad way too, not in any good way. Like, this is not supposed to be in any good way, even though the description says that it actually prefers this particular look or treatment or something. I don't know, it just looks really, and look at that, when it attacks, it literally has to like wiggle its whole body, like wiggle the legs to give it momentum in the body area, and the body area therefore gives the rest of the momentum to the head. It's just like all this physics stuff and like all this weirdness. I don't know, it's just a really strange cat to look at when it fights. It's kind of humorous in a way, but graphically it just looks really weird. But anyways, that's pretty much it for the Bondage Cat. Already forgot the name. Fantastic video right here. Anyways, the next form is the Bondage CatNEO. Now, this one's a little bit weird. Wants more pain. So, even though you thought that being in its bondage state the first time was bad enough, now it apparently wants even more of it, which is a little bit strange and definitely not something that you kids should strive for when you're growing up. No, you get good jobs, businessmen, firefighters, police, teachers, engineers, stuff like that. Don't become like a bondage cat and like, you know, or you can't become a bondage cat. You can become someone in the bondage field of work, but not necessarily a bondage cat, because, you know, you're a human. I'm assuming that you're a human watching this video, right? Anyways, I don't know what I'm getting into. But yeah, now we have the Bondage CatNEO, which pretty much has, you know, more or less the same stats, just like a decent amount of HP actually from its first form, but other than that, not a whole lot that's different. It's still pretty expensive, still pretty slow, still hits single units, so, you know, it's just all about the same. But its looks, though, is a little bit more interesting, so I guess it's a bit cooler because instead of rope and around the body and the legs, you now have these, what looks to be like these iron cuffs or chains, or not chains, just like an iron collar, like literally restricting this particular cat to, like, you know, even break free out of the you know, whatever it's, you know, the things that's restricting, of course, because the rope thing isn't that hard to break through, I don't think. But this one, you need like a freaking a hammer, like some sort of a flamethrower device thingy to actually get rid of that stuff. And then for some reason, they decided to blindfold himself or herself. Don't know what gender this cat actually is. And then there's like a weird, like, spherical thing in its mouth. I actually know what it is, but I don't think you guys would like to know what it is. It's supposed to be like a weird thing that it basically muffles your voice, so if you're like screaming or something, then you can't really hear it as well. But there are like these little insertions of holes within the bowl that actually lets you breathe. How I know this stuff, don't even ask me, I don't know. But anyways, I definitely say that it's definitely a more intense look for this cat. And to actually top it all off, there's a freaking iron ball chained to its feet, and it's still crawling at the same speed as it was before. So it's actually pretty impressive. It's pretty physical, I'd say, in a fitness sort of way, if it's able to move that fast as it did the first time. Now that it has like a, you know, an iron ball chained to its legs, and even when it flops around, it can still carry the iron ball relatively well. So, you know, it's pretty impressive, even though you look even weirder than you did the first time. But it's the final form that looks probably the weirdest and also the most dangerous, but it actually has one perk that could make it a little bit viable, but at the same time it's still not enough because of, well, the same ability, which I'll get into right now. So the final form is the ultimate Bondage Cat, and this is what the description has to say. Offers himself, oh, it actually says himself. Okay, so we've confirmed it. It's actually a guy, not a female, which is sort of strange. Offers himself up as a shield to achieve transcendent pleasure. I don't know why I can't say that word. It's just a weird word. Strong its red, might survive a lethal attack. So yeah, that's the bonus perk that it has as its true form. It can now have a chance to survive a lethal attack. So it's not like 100%, it's actually a chance to do so. So based on the week, it says 50% chance to survive a lethal attack. So honestly, its true form ability kind of sucks because it's not super reliable. It's not gonna happen every single time. So if it actually takes like a lethal hit, it's not gonna be always the case where it'll actually survive the hit. So, you know, it kind of sucks as an ability, but graphical wise, it looks pretty intense. So it's actually freaking in the ground. Now, I first thought that this was water because, you know, it makes the most sense, but if you look really, really carefully, it's not ripples or any sort of watery wave sort of thing that you're seeing where the head, like, is actually, you know, getting into the ground. It's literally cracks. This cat is literally putting his head into the ground and is moving forward by, like, I don't know, crushing the ground underneath it with its face. That's really, really intense. But on the bright side, at least it went back onto the ropes around its body and the ropes around its legs, so it's not as brutally uncomfortable as it was the first time, and the iron chain ball is no longer there either. But still, it's pretty intense. Like, you're pretty much like, you're drowning this cat underground. Like, with ground, like, not even water. Like, how is that possible? Like, I don't know how that works. Maybe he's just, like, inhaling a bunch of, dirt and stuff into his system. But still, that's a little bit disturbing. He's not a worm or anything, so, you know, it's very scary. But anyways, yeah, its attack animation changes too. Instead of whipping them with his head, it actually uses its legs as, you know, backwards and forward sort of momentum, which is pretty cool. And one last thing to add, to this cat's stat-wise, which I forgot to say, is that its HP is actually doubled compared to its second form. So it's actually a little bit, ooh, and you saw right there that it actually did survive the black bear hit because you heard like the ting. That means that it was supposed to die with that hit, but it didn't. So yeah, you know, you just have to be, I guess, lucky when it comes to this cat if you really do plan on using it on your team. I suggest that you don't, because honestly, there's a lot of better options that, of other option cats that both have better stats and just look, you know, cooler in a sense. You have the true form of the fish cat, which is it even called the fish cat? I've been calling it the fish cat this whole time. Maybe it's actually called something else. I thought it was like the fish cat or something, isn't it? No, it's called the fish cat. Okay, I was right the first time. But, yeah, you have better options like the island cat, then you have the Crazed Whale cat, which is admittedly more difficult to obtain, but once you do get it, then this is also a very, very good substitute for the Bondage Cat. Sadly, this is the second form. I still have yet to get the true form, but I have to do a bunch of other levels in order to accomplish that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Bondage Cat. There's just so many other cats that are way better than it of its category, so honestly, I don't recommend you using this cat unless you want to try to be a little bit cheeky and use that lethal ability to your advantage, though it does rely on luck, as I just said. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much going to be it for this video. So if you enjoyed the video, then hit that like button, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more Battle Cats videos in the future. If you have any suggestions for more cats and for the next episodes, then feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Anyways, that's going to be it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Woo!